The only way to describe some of the showings of the Jesus film is that they are simply supernatural. In the Siberian city of Khabarovsk, a special showing of the Jesus film was scheduled for parents and friends of teachers that were attending an educational conference. Tom Axelson, the director of administration for the Jesus Film Project, led the team. More than 250 people crowded into the Pioneer Palace Theater for the showing. Tom introduced the film, gave some of its background, and told of the great attention given to make sure it was absolutely accurate according to the scriptures. Nothing unusual. Then Tom slipped out of the auditorium and made his way to a room where the team had stored a supply of Bibles. He spent some time in prayer and then decided to bring down some of the Bibles that he'd distribute to those who would indicate they had received Christ as a result of the showing. When the film wrapped up, Tom and his interpreter, Zlata Breos, very simply read through the gospel as contained in the Four Spiritual Laws booklet. He then led them in a prayer of invitation. As he concluded his prayer, he indicated that he would meet those who had prayed to accept the Lord over at the side of the stage. He wanted to give each of them a Bible. Before he could get off the stage, he was just mobbed. The whole audience tried to come at once, most of them weeping. The first lady to come was sobbing uncontrollably. Zlata tried to explain what the woman was saying, but there was too much noise and confusion. Tom sent someone to bring down the rest of the Bibles. When the crowd was finally gone, Zlata said, "Tom, did you understand what these people were saying?" "I'm sorry," he said, "I just couldn't make out your words." "The people were telling me," she said, "that when you were reading the Four Spiritual Laws to them, they saw the figure of Jesus from the film standing beside you on the stage. That's why so many of them were sobbing. Jesus had come into their midst." No Americans were in the audience that night, none to see what had happened. As Tom returned to the hotel, he met a group of people who'd been involved in the conference. "Tell us about the showing," one of them said. "About 9 o'clock, a few of us got together to pray because we realized that would be about the time you presented the gospel. We specifically prayed that God would reveal himself in a special way to those who were there that night." Tom smiled quietly. "Your prayers were answered beyond what you would even believe." Zlata recounted some of the numerous conversations with people who had seen the image of Christ standing beside Tom. Then she confessed, "You will never know how meaningful this is to me personally. As a 13-year-old girl on my summer vacation, I met some believers who told me about Jesus, and I accepted him as my personal Savior. When I returned home, I started telling everyone about him. But my father was a high communist official, so several times they warned him to shut me up. I continued to talk to people, and the communists finally said they would send my father to Siberia if I didn't keep quiet. So I stopped talking about Jesus. That was more than 40 years ago. In all these years, I've told no one that I believed in Jesus, not even my husband. Tonight is the first time I've spoken for the Lord in all that time. It is more meaningful to me than you can ever know."